So another company sent me a tablet to review. The Artisul 22-inch pen display tablet. I've never heard of this brand before, Artisul. They just emailed me and they're like, hey, do you want to review our tablet? And I was like, okay. Now you might be asking yourself, Mastar, why do you need so many tablets? I have like 20 tablets right now. I have a problem. It's kind of like my dad. He grew up poor and hungry. So whenever he gets offered food, he can't say no. And I grew up always wanting a tablet. And so whenever I get offered one, I can't say no. So this guy costs about $440. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. Man, this thing is gigantic. Okay, so it doesn't have any buttons on it. No function keys or hotkeys. Seems to be pretty standard, nothing really special. It's definitely very heavy, very well built, sturdy. All right, and let's check out the pen. So the side buttons are very clicky. Let's just see how this feels. Feels pretty good. It's a little like, oh, that didn't sound good. Now the pen is covered in this like smooth kind of, it's not like just pure plastic. It's got like this kind of smooth rubbery. It feels pretty comfortable. It's lightweight, but it's not, I guess it's not too light. It kind of feels just like a standard pen weight, and it's fairly small and nimble. Okay, and then we got a pretty standard mount. This is like all of the tablets have the same standard kind of mount, all the big ones anyway. All right, so let's set this bad boy up and give it a test drive. All right, so I plugged it in, I opened Clip Studio Paint, and I'm just starting to just play around with this. I'm doing some Gogeta concepts. I still don't have it finalized what I actually want them to look like. Do I want them to have regular hair or long hair or whatever? And I gotta say, the first thing that I noticed about this tablet was the responsiveness of the pen, meaning the second you touch the pen to the screen, the programs automatically, they know that the pen is down. And so sometimes with these programs, you have to push hard or you have to drag a millimeter before it realizes that you're trying to draw. With this tablet, it was insanely responsive, which is very, very nice. Meaning like when you're drawing on a piece of paper, it's like 100% responsiveness. And drawing with this, I felt like it was 100% responsiveness, which is one of the hugest benefits to this tablet. This tablet is 1920 by 1080 resolution, which is full HD with a 178-degree viewing angle, a battery-free digital pen, which is awesome, so no charging there, 60-degree tilt function, anti-glare film, 76% Adobe RGB gamut, which is actually fairly low, and over 8,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, which is very standard for tablets at this range. Now, something happened as I got to the point where I was about to color. I stopped being able to draw my lines. It was like something glitched, and I tried really hard to figure out what was going on. I recalibrated. I couldn't figure out what it was until I just rebooted my computer, and that solved the problem. Really started to ruin my image, but I think that was a problem with Adobe Animate, which is a very glitchy program in itself. I don't think that was a problem with the tablet itself. I think that probably one of my drivers crashed or something like that. But anyways, once I rebooted, it solved all the problems. I got back in, I started being able to draw smoothly again, and so I continued coloring. One thing I started to get really frustrated on was that there's no express keys on this tablet. Most 22-inch tablets have express keys for shortcuts like delete, undo, switching your brush. It started to get annoying to me because my tablet is on a separate table from my computer, so I kept having to reach over to my keyboard in order to press delete. It's something to keep in mind. It's not the end of the world. As long as you have your keyboard nearby, you can use that as all your hotkeys, but for me, it was something that I definitely missed having. So the line quality for the sketch was amazing because it was in Clip Studio Paint, but trying to get it right in an Animate gave me some problems, but I don't think that was actually the tablet's fault. I think it was actually Adobe Animate, because you'll never get the crisp line quality you want and the drawing perfection you want from Adobe Animate, but not so bad for the first time using this tablet. Okay, so overall, this tablet is pretty good. I mean, I think it's very competitive in the market. In terms of the pros, I love the sensitivity of the pen when you press down. I gotta say that was actually one of the best tablets in that sense that when you're using your brush, you're touching the screen, you're getting a very responsive pen, which was very nice. Another pro was that the drivers, the software that you install, it was like super easy, just download it. There wasn't like all these old versions, I guess because it's a new tablet, I'm not really sure, but it was just one version, clicked it, installed it. After a quick and easy calibration, it was good to go. And that's really, really nice because sometimes these tablets have like really bad driver errors and you just can't get your pen to work, or the pen, like the cursor's off the pen or whatever. This one, definitely a pro that their software and drivers seem to be, from one day of use, very good. And another pro is the price point. However, there are several $400-ish 22-inch tablets on the market, but still compared to a Cintiq of this size, it's way, way less expensive. All right, now for the cons. I think the biggest con is no express keys, right? So usually a lot of these other big tablets will have buttons on the sides which you can bind to things like erase, undo, you know, anything, any keys you want. And if you don't have express keys, you're limited to either using your pen to tap the different tools, which is very slow, or reaching and touching your keyboard. Now, if you have the tablet set up right in front of you with your keyboard next to you, the keyboard's usually better than any hotkeys that they could have on the tablet itself. But for me, I really like to have some hotkeys. Now, I said that there was no driver errors, but I was encountering one error with Adobe Animate. I'm not really sure what this was, but Adobe Animate is incredibly buggy, but I haven't experienced this with any of the other tablets. Drawing with this tablet in Clip Studio Paint worked phenomenally, and I mean phenomenally. But as you can see, there was times whenever I would pull the pen off, it would kind of leave this little mark, like when I would pull the pen off, it would leave this marker of ink, and that happened all over the place, and it was getting really annoying. But again, I can't blame the tablet for this. Maybe just some issue with Adobe Animate. There was also one time when I had to reboot my computer. I'm not really sure what happened. It was an Adobe Animate and the pen like just stopped being responsive, but I think that may have been an Adobe Animate issue and not an Artisul tablet issue. Take that with a grain of salt. If you're gonna be animating in Adobe Animate, I just had some minor problems here. There's another pretty big flaw in that the cords on the back here all come from underneath. So, you know, when you have to plug everything in down here, and then when you rest the tablet, it's kind of sitting right on top of the cords and bending all of them. That is a really bad placement for cables. The best place to put it is on the sides here or out of the top somehow, but I don't know why they designed it like this. If you're gonna make a pro version Artisul, you definitely wanna move the ports. It seems like with every one of these tablet brands that I've tried, and I've tried so many, they all have like some advantage and some disadvantage over the competition. So, I mean, I gotta really hand it to the feel of drawing on this thing was actually really nice. I like to draw on glass, and I tried to take off the reflective film that they put on this. I wasn't able to take it off. I really stuck my fingernail under there and tried. I don't think you can. Some brands you can, some you can't. But even though it has that film on, that it's an anti-glare film, it was still really nice to draw on. Some of the other brands that have the film is so thick that when you're drawing, it almost feels like you're like squishing down like onto gel as you're drawing. And with this, I did not get that experience. Instead, it felt more of like I was drawing on a matted surface, which was interesting. Definitely better than some of the brands, but for me personally, I like drawing on glass because it's just so smooth. So I'll always take a glass tablet if I can. So when they approached me for this tablet, I really didn't know what to expect. I had never heard of this brand before, but I gotta say it's better than my expectations provided me. Overall, I think I'd rate this tablet like a 7 out of 10. You know, the major bonus points for the responsiveness of the pen, sometimes that can be a difficulty with some brands, but this was super responsive, but the cable management is pretty bad. No express keys kind of hurts. And whatever those bugs I was facing with Adobe Animate, again, that may not be Artisul, that may just be Adobe Animate because it is a very buggy program and Clip Studio Paint is not. But I mean, it was extremely easy to set up and start using, which a lot of these tablets are not. Sometimes they have so many problems to try and get them working. In terms of longevity, I don't really know yet, but it's a pretty dang good tablet for the price. And that's how I'm gonna leave that. I'm Mastar. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll be talking to you soon with another video. Warida!